Uh, Great question. But do you know two horns thing wasn't specific to Alexander? Also, that book was written after the Quran. I take it you're talking about Dhul Qarnayn. Um, right. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Can you explain the Dhul Qarnayn story with regards to Alexander's romances? Um, right now, okay, Dhul Qarnayn of the Quran. In my understanding, people go, yeah, why do you always give your understanding? Ab teri baap whose understanding should I give? Your dad's. Obviously, I have to give my understanding. Samjha karo, yaar. Samjha karo. All right. So, in my understanding, Dhul Qarnayn is most likely Cyrus the Great. Yeah, people, yeah, Cyrus. I don't think, no, he definitely wasn't Alexander, uh, but Cyrus seems to make sense. Why? Why? You see, you may say, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué, Mufti? ¿Por qué? So, the reason being that one, the territory that Cyrus the Great conquers and rules over. I was in two minds that could it have been Darius as well, who's from the same the Achaemenid dynasty, but but most likely it is Cyrus, and that's because of you see, it wasn't just the ruling so many people, but he did stand for uh, several principles of justice, which are still incorporated in modern times. So you have, if so, you will have even today. I believe if I just, it's used by several. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Uh, that I believe are the first or several articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are also based upon this. Let me see. Right. Anyway. Hmm. Oh, that's it. Yep. So, the Cylinder of Cyrus, right, which is known as the Edict of Cyrus as well, and it was they found this kind of cylinder kind of tablet which had these inscriptions on there, and it contained a declaration that Cyrus had made after conquering Babylon, and so that is, that this is obviously um 500 something BC before uh before Christ. So now the he was this let me just bring this back. This was a declaration that he had made about the preservation of human rights. So he was also one of the first people. I'm not saying he was the first, but amongst the earliest kind of people of whom we have records who spoke about actively preserving human rights. And he was in a position of power to do so. So sometimes philosophers may have spoken of these things, but they weren't the rulers, they weren't the kings, they weren't the dynasts, whereas he was. The other thing is he also frees the Israelites and um, and supports them financially in the restoration of the temple. Now, this is why the Jewish people hold Cyrus the Great in in such high esteemed um, um, praise in their records and books. Now, you have to remember that when Surah Al Kahf is speaking, it is highlighting a dialogue that the Jewish people are asking the Prophet, that yes, alunaka, that they are asking you about the soul, they are asking you about this, they are asking you about Dhul Qarnayn. So, whoever Dhul Qarnayn is, he is somebody that the Jewish people have are most likely very fond of or very familiar with because they are the ones asking the Prophet about him. So, to say it's Alexander the Great doesn't make any sense. He was never really in that kind of a position or held fondly by the Jews. So whereas Cyrus the Great was, and he also fits these other descriptions. So I feel that that is who Dhul Qarnayn is being referred to as. Yes, somebody said it was prophesied um, in the Bible as well. Yes, of course. Uh,